Y'all already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Underrated Mages. They'll be doing a video discussing Nashi Dragneel. Now, when it comes to Nashi Dragneel, this character is, well, I can't even call it a character, to be honest, because right now this character doesn't really exist, but at the same time it kind of does. I know some people, they see the title and they say Nashi Dragneel. Whoa, who is this? Who is this new Dragneel member? Is it somebody related to Natsu? Is it his mom? A lot of people already have questions, but a while ago during an interview, somebody asked Hiromashima, or the interviewer, they asked Hiromashima, if you had to choose between a name between Natsu x Lucy's child, what would it be? So right then and there, that kind of confirms that Natsu x Lucy is canon, because somebody is asking him what would the kid of the two characters be named. So right then and there, that just shows you that, okay, Hiromashima, he acknowledges that these two are going to get together, and if they did have a kid, what would their name be? So for everybody complaining about Natsu x Lucy not being canon, hush, because that statement right there, the fact that he answered this question shows you that it's canon. So, you know, relax, just relax a bit. But nonetheless, Hiromashima said a whole bunch of names, you know, and the name that really stuck with a lot of people was Nashi Dragneel. And like I said, I think he said like 3 other names, but the one that the fan base basically ran off with was Nashi Dragneel. I don't know why they chose the Nashi one. I don't even, like, the fact that I don't even remember the other 3 or 2 names, the fact that I don't even know how many names were said, shows that the fan base, they just got attached to Nashi Dragneel and ran with it. And ever since then, she's kind of been like, you know, I don't want to say a made-up character, because Hiromashima he's the one that named her, but she's kind of been like this, I don't even know how to, she's been like this enigma, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's basically been this, I guess you say, this hype somewhat, because this is the daughter of Natsu and Lucy. We don't know if she's a daughter. Nashi could be I don't know how the Japanese culture works, so I don't really know what's a boy or a girl name, but a lot of people assume Nashi is a girl name. So a lot of people in the fan base, they basically made up this, I guess you say, fictional character, or like this enigma of Nashi Dragneel. Today I want to do a video discussing basically the whole character, if it actually goes that, if this character actually becomes, you know, a real character in the fairy tale story. I want to discuss some of the things that I expect from this character. Now, number one, the personality. Now, this one is going to be interesting, because usually a kid, they're going to act either like they're going to act a lot like one side of the parent, or B, they're going to have a mixed personality of both. And usually kids usually have the mixed personality of both their parents, which makes it cool, because in this case you got Natsu and Lucy. And listen, these two personality wise are like polar opposites. Like, they're completely different. Like, you got Natsu, who always wants to go out there fighting, you know, looking for like a new adventure, you know, just doing a whole bunch of reckless things. When Lucy, she's like the opposite, you know, she still likes to explore, but she's like more nicer. She doesn't like fighting too much and everything, and she's more the calmer one. So me personally, I think that she would have a little bit, like, if this is a girl, I think that she would have a little bit more of Lucy's side, you know. I think she'll be a little bit more calmer, but I do think it would be dope if she did act a little bit more like Natsu, like had like the, you know, the wild personality, always wanted to go out and fight. I think that would be cool, but, you know, not as, you know, not to an extent as Natsu. So I think that she'll act more like Lucy, but when time comes, when she has to turn up, when she has to go ham, she'll go ham like Natsu. So that's what I think her personality would be like. It would be pretty cool. Now, the next one is probably my favorite thing to discuss, and this is the power. What would her ability be? Now, as far as dragon slaying magic, we know that it's not necessarily hereditary. Like, we know that it's not passed down from one parent to the child. And I'm not going to say too much spoilers, but all I'm gonna say is Eileen. Yes, if you're a manga reader, you know what I mean. Eileen, you know, that's Eileen is perfect case. That's a perfect case scenario that all dragon slayer technique isn't passed down from the children. That's all I'm gonna say. So dragon slayer magic has to be taught by you know, by a dragon. Now, in this case, since Natsu is basically, I want to say that he's kind of like perfected dragon slayer magic, maybe he'll be able to teach dragon slayer magic to his child. I don't know, because I don't know if you still have to, you know, if a dragon still has to be your teacher in order to learn dragon slayer magic, or could somebody who's kind of like mastered the technique teach it to somebody? I don't know how that works, but I'm just going to assume that Natsu, he will be able to teach her at least fire magic, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that she'll get a piece. We know that Gray, you know, I'm gonna use another example, we know that Gray, he got his ice magic, you know, from Silver. So maybe she's gonna have like natural like fire magic because she's Natsu's daughter. So maybe she won't necessarily have Dragon Slayer magic, but what if she does have like fire type magic, and then Natsu, he'll be able to teach her some of his techniques, you know. So he doesn't, so she won't necessarily have like full on Dragon Slayer magic, but she'll have like fire, you know, fire dragon attacks is what I think she'll have. But you also got to think about Lucy, because Lucy, on the other hand, she has the celestial keys, and the celestial keys, we know that those things get pretty OP, and those can get passed down hereditary. We know that Lucy's mom had it, we know Lucy's ancestor had it, like the chain just keeps going on. So me personally, I think it would be dope if she's able to utilize both. Yes, being able to use a celestial spirit key and use fire and just use fire magic. Me personally, if she's able to use the celestial keys, I think that she will rely on those more, because number one, they seem like they would be a lot easier to use, because celestial keys, really you're doing is just summoning it, and then you let the celestial keys do all the work. But in this case, unlike Lucy, what if she actually summons them, then she fights alongside them with Natsu's power? I think that would be dope. I think that would be cool if she was able to use both, and then she still fought alongside with each keys. I think that would be amazing. So I hope that her power would be a mixture of both Natsu and Lucy. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is the objective. What would her main goal be? Because let's be honest, when it comes to a character, the thing that gets us most excited, it might be the power sometimes, you know, it might be their backstory. But for me personally, I like seeing what a character's goal is. Yes, what does a character strive for? What do they want to be? You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to know the most. That's the thing that gets me most excited. So her objective, her goal is actually going to be very hard to think of. But if there was one thing that I had to say, what if she actually wanted to fulfill what her parents were to do? You know, this just use it as like an example. What if maybe Lucy wasn't able to go find Aquarius's key? Maybe she wasn't able to go out there and actually get it. So Nashi actually took on the role of going out and finding Aquarius's key for Lucy. I think that would be pretty cool, because at this point we know Natsu, he basically has all his goals accomplished. You know, Zeref, Acnologia out of the picture, you know, Igneel out of the picture. So, you know, Natsu, he really has his goals done. But we know that Natsu said he had a bucket list of things, and I'm pretty sure he couldn't pass the bucket list on to his daughter. You know, I think the bucket list is something that Natsu wanted to do. But when it comes to Lucy, we know that Lucy, she wants to find Aquarius's key. Maybe she could actually send her daughter, I don't want to say send her daughter, because that's kind of messed up. That makes it seem like it's a chore when she just says, all right, go out and find my key for me. But no, me personally, I think that maybe if Lucy ends up dying, or she actually ends up like not being able to find the key, maybe that's when Nashi will actually inherit Lucy's dream and actually go on and take on the task to go find Aquarius's key. And the next thing I want to discuss, this will most likely be the last thing, is her strength. How strong will she be? Now, again, when it comes to a character that of this stature, who's going to be a mixture of both Natsu and Lucy, you can't mess this up. Like, for example, I'm going to use Boruto as an example. You know, Boruto, he's the son of Naruto, Hinata. We know all the good things that Boruto has passed on to him, like genetically wise, you know, Senju DNA, all that good stuff. So Boruto is going to be OP, you know, he's going to be OP. He's going to, like, one of the main reasons why people like Boruto or watch Boruto to see how strong he's going to be, because the fact that he has so much potential, that's what people want to see. They want to see him actually surpass Naruto. And the same thing kind of goes with Nashi Dragneel. If she actually is born, like, she's going to be the daughter or son, because we still don't know which one is which, even though I've been saying she this whole time. But she's going to be the daughter of Natsu, who is basically, at this point, I don't know if you want to listen, if you want to put him as the strongest fairy tale member, then that's up to you. But me personally, I think he's for sure top 3 between Gildor, Talaxis, and Natsu. You can toss up a coin between those 3, but me personally, I think he's top 3 strongest in the fairy tale guild. Then you even got Lucy on the other hand, who is also very strong, who became a lot stronger. I think Lucy has had the most development when it comes to strength in the fairy tale series. I mean, a round of applause for Lucy, she definitely got stronger. So how strong would Nashi Dragneel be? Me personally, I don't think she should start off like super strong, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she should start off as strong as Natsu is, but if she was somewhere around, I guess you could say a little bit above the Lucy level, like when Lucy first started, if she was a little bit above like how strong she was, you know what I'm saying, I think that would be dope, because then it will give more room for her character to improve, and she wouldn't start off as strong as Natsu. Whereas Natsu, he didn't necessarily need to get a lot stronger, you know. I'm not saying Natsu stayed the same strength, but because he was already so strong, he was like, you know, a lot of his fights were cakewalks, whereas Lucy, since she started off so weak, she had to gradually build up. And I think it would be dope if now she had to go through the same thing. And yeah, that's how strong I hope she is. I'm not saying I think she should be like exactly the same as Lucy, but I hope she's like somewhere around that level, so she still has some room for development when it comes for her strength. But overall, the one thing that I gotta say is that, are you guys excited for Nashi Dragneel? What do you guys think about her character? Do you guys think that she'll actually come to fruition? Do you think Hiromashi will actually write her into the story? And I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Like, what do you guys think about her personality, her power, you know, what her goals will be, how strong she'll be, and all that stuff? I want to hear what you guys gotta say. Comment what you guys think down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.